Hey there, Home Fit family. In today's episode of Let's Talk Health and Home with Stephanie, we are joined with Annie Mitchell from Remax Precision, and we're going to be talking about the 411 for first-time homebuyers. Welcome, Annie.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So glad to have you join us today. Our history goes way back. All the way back.
Yeah. Like a very long time.
Super excited to have you here today to get the 411 out to all of our clients and viewers on first-time home buyers, as well as just whatever you have to offer all of our clients looking to purchase. Purchase or even sell their home.
Sure.
You do both.
Yes, I do.
All right, perfect. So our first question for you, Annie, is how do you know if a client is ready to purchase a home? So if someone's been renting and they're looking to purchase and they give you a call, do you have a process that you go through with them or some questions?
Yes, I just kind of go through a little discovery of figuring out, are they ready, they willing, are they able? And those are the three kind of stepping stones that we have to take in order to do that. And so I have kind of a series of questions that I ask them, how long have they been renting? How, do they know a little bit about the home buying process, just to kind of get a feel of what they know and what they don't know, so that I'm not ever either over talking above them or underneath of them. I want them to, be well informed about the whole process.
Exactly. It's a big process, so it's important to have that information and to feel comfortable with someone.
Certainly.
So that kind of brings me into my next question. In today's market, I think especially, we see so many people who are looking to purchase their home and maybe even do it, for sale by owner. So will you kind of provide us some information as to the importance for a first-time home buyer or even someone who's looking to, purchase their dream home, the importance on having a realtor?
Absolutely. So I always say, real estate is not a DIY. You do not do this on your own. You definitely need that layer of protection, and someone there from the start to the end, just to be feeling those extra questions, and to be certainly filled with knowledge to be able to give them the information so they can make informed decisions on what they're going to be negotiating, what they want to be looking for in a home, and aligning them as well with other professionals and within the business, whether it be home warranty companies, inspectors, lenders. There's a whole process there that a lot of buyers and even some sellers don't even know. They're like, I bought my house 5 years ago and it's not the same market that it is today. So it's going through that process with them, that they have kind of a go-to sounding board, someone that knows what the market's currently doing, and where they can go from there.
Exactly. I think a lot of times we have clients that maybe they refer to their parents, and although our parents know a lot,
Sure.
The market has really changed since a lot of our parents were buying their first home, or even the home that they're currently in.
Absolutely.
So do you recommend that clients get their quality pre-approval prior to reaching out to you, or does it make a difference for you?
So kind of circling back to the first question that you had asked me, just what's the process and everything, that's part of my discovery questions of finding out where they're at, are they ready, and just acknowledging that, they will want a pre-approval once we start getting outgoing, because we're going to need to know what's their price point, what they can afford, what's their mortgage, what's the ideal comfort. I don't want to just be going and looking at $300,000 homes when they're really in the market for more like a $200,000 home, because we don't like to put the cart before the horse, and want to make sure that they're doing things the right way and that they're not getting their hopes all high, and so that they're, like I said, just kind of giving them the informed decision. So I certainly do recommend having them pre-approved, but they can certainly talk to me before that process so that I can help get the ball rolling on all of that.
Exactly. And I never want anyone to feel like they're home poor. We have this dream of a beautiful home or purchasing this beautiful home, and It's all well and good, but how do you feel about that mortgage payment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't like that. Well, then that's not the home for you.
Absolutely.
So then that kind of leads us into one of my next questions, and that is making an offer in today's market. Super stressful from the sounds of it. So do you mind sharing what that whole process looks like for a client?
Well, that again comes into play why you would use a realtor, like myself, where I take that stressor off of you, because I will use I will go through a series of questions and things that they desire, and then I will give them what their level of expectation should be from the beginning. Like, hey, this home has been on the market for 3 days. It's going to be hot. Like, this price point goes really, really fast. If it's been on the market, less than, that 3 days or whatever, you have to jump a little bit fast. And but I'm not pushy in the sense of I want them to make sure that they're making an informed decision and that they're not just like, okay, we have to make an offer because, but I also want them to understand that time is of the essence and that they have to kind of do everything that they possibly can to make those decisions. So it's strategizing what's the level of importance to them, if it's getting closing costs or if it's getting a home warranty or if it's doing an inspection, things like that, closing dates, things that all kind of align up on your purchase agreement, and see what's their level of importance.
Perfect. In there you gave out all kinds of words there that I think everyone could probably use a little better definition or just understanding as to what they are. So one of the first ones was a seller concession. So what is a seller concession?
Seller concession would be anything that the seller contributes towards the buyer. So if it's towards closing costs, or if it during an inspection period, you have some items there's a monetary value to those. Seller to buyer, buyer to seller, there's no exchange of cash at all. You either have to have something completed to have that done. So then what the seller would do is provide like $2,000 towards closing costs, and you keep adding those things to the closing costs, and I just use that $2,000 as kind of a general rule of thumb.
Right.
But they most likely won't cover all of the closing costs, but I do try to get concessions for most of it.
Yes, and I will say, out of a lot of realtors, you definitely negotiate very well for all clients. So that's appreciated both as from the client's perspective as well as from mine as on the lender side of things. So way to go, Annie. One of my next questions is about home inspections and home warranties. So it's something that you do negotiate for a client on their behalf. And can you kind of explain that process that you have with clients, whether they're on the buyer side as well as on the seller side?
Yes. So I'll start with sellers. Whenever I go into a listing appointment, I always recommend having a pre-inspection done so that there are no question marks. There's nothing that so when we get to that inspection period, such a crucial time in the process of the purchase of it all, is that you need to make sure that there's no hidden surprises. So, if there's a crack in the foundation or there's some windows that need to be replaced, they know in advance, and that we can oftentimes either reflect that in the listing price of the home or getting some of those things done prior to listing. So I think that that's a level of importance there. Also, to use it as a buffer if like the buyer has an inspection, which I highly recommend all buyers get inspection. I don't think that that's something you forfeit. That's definitely a key piece in purchasing your home. I know where the market's at. I know that it's a hot market, and I have seen some people forfeit those, and you can get into some tricky situations with homes that maybe have water in their basement that it's not disclosed, or that hasn't been, any of that, windows leaking, garage doors not working, things like that. So 100% buyers should always have a inspection and not forfeit that. And as far as sellers go, that's one of the, being kind of an all inclusive package for me. I think it's a key component.
I would agree. And I think it's very important from the lender perspective as well, because, when we have a client who purchases a home, if they don't have that warranty done and then all of a sudden they close on their home and, 30 days later the furnace goes, that's a huge expense that they were not planning for. So
sure.
I think it's a great way for the client to know that, hey, this is the home that you are purchasing. These are the items that maybe you need to be looking at replacing or planning to replace.
Sure.
Or if something's not working,
home warranty and home inspection are two separate entities. Like I would say a home inspection, you have an inspector come and you inspect all of those things. A home warranty is your insurance policy per se on your items such as your HVAC system, all of your appliances. Sometimes it even covers like garbage disposals and just other plumbing issues that you might have. And again, on the seller side, I do recommend having that just to be kind of like a one package deal. And sometimes they leave it out as a negotiating piece, but I feel like, just that extra level of protection. I keep saying that level of protection because you need to have layers to your transaction and make sure that everybody feels good about it in the end.
Yep, exactly. It's really probably your largest purchase that you ever make in your lifetime. So you want to make sure that you
it's an investment.
Yep.
Yes.
Dot your I's and cross your T's.
That's right.
Okay, Annie. So one of the things that's included in a purchase agreement is earnest money. So when a client is saying, they're talking to you about how much money they should budget for earnest money, what's that conversation look like?
Sure. Just really, it's a promise to the seller that that's your security of wanting the home. The amount is just really determined based on the pricing of the home. So general rule of thumb is about 1% of the purchase price that they're offering. You can go more than that and in this hot market, I would always suggest getting a little bit more just to buffer yourself on if you're in a multiple offer scenario, something like that. It just gives the seller a little bit more confidence in you purchasing.
And the earnest money, that really goes towards the client's down payment. So if they're purchasing a home and they put down, $10,000 on a $500,000 home,
right,
unless they choose to walk away from it, that money is just going towards their down payment.
Right, absolutely.
So as long as they don't walk away, it's what they need to do anyways, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right, Annie, well, thank you so much for stopping by today. I just want to let you know that I absolutely appreciate working with you. I love your passion for helping clients purchase their first home to purchasing their forever home. So it's truly been a pleasure, and I look forward to continue working with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes. So, Annie, will you share with our viewers today how they can reach out to you if they're looking to purchase a home or
Sure.
if they're looking to sell?
Sure. The best point of contact for me would be my phone number, and my phone number is 515-681-9463, and certainly you could get my information from you as well. And
well, thanks, Annie. I appreciate you stopping by today. Until next time, stay committed to your home and health goals.